So you're thinking about moving to Wilmington, North Carolina? Well, look no more, because today we're going to tour the entire area. I'm going to tell you all the little nooks and crannies, all the places that I've learned to love in my lifetime here, and show you some really cool places that you've probably never heard of. So stick around, let's get started, and I'm going to show you Wilmington for the very first time. Let's go. All right, thank you for joining me today. I am happy to show you Wilmington, North Carolina. If you're already watching this video, then you probably know where Wilmington is. We are on the almost the southernmost point of North Carolina. And if you want a good landmark, use Myrtle Beach and go an hour and a half north. That's Wilmington. And I don't always like to use Myrtle Beach as a landmark because we are so different than Myrtle Beach. We are not a tourist town. We do have a strong tourist season during the summer. Well, gosh, during the whole year really, but especially during the summer with the beach. But we are not just a tourist town. We attract people from all walks of life, retirees, families, young professionals. Everybody loves Wilmington and they flock to Wilmington, and we have a lot to offer. So we have the beach, but we have so much more, and I'm going to touch base on all of that in just a minute. But first, let me help you get your bearings straight when you're thinking about Wilmington. We are 2 hours to Raleigh, North Carolina. Everyone's heard of Raleigh, the state capital. We are 3 hours to Greensboro, 5 hours to my favorite, Boone, home of the Blue Ridge Mountains. We are 6 hours to Asheville. Always a good time to get to Asheville. 3.5 hours to Charlotte, just to name a few. So Wilmington has a lot to offer. We're over here on the coast. People love Wilmington because we have beaches, but we also have an incredible river. So let's take a look at that. Zoom in a little bit. Look at Wilmington. We are kind of a peninsula, or we are a peninsula. We have this incredible area over here to our west, which is the Cape Fear River, and of course the Atlantic Ocean all the way on the right. So that's Wilmington. Now, if you go north of Wilmington, you're going to find Jacksonville, which is a strong military base, home of the Marines, home of Camp Lejeune. That's how they say it now. It used to be Lejeune, now it's Lejeune. So Camp Lejeune. And as you work your way down south, you'll see Topsail Beach, Surf City, Hampstead. These are all great places. I love Surf City. I love Topsail Beach. It's a really wonderful place to vacation with the family, a lot of tourism, a lot of tourists there, all that good stuff. Hampstead is up and coming. It's north of Wilmington. It's its own area, and there are neighborhoods and developments happening there. And part of the reason that Hampstead has really taken off is because Wilmington is really beginning to outgrow itself. There's still opportunity in Wilmington, but it's beginning to outgrow itself. So people are looking at some of these outskirts, and Hampstead is one of those. We also have a new bypass or highway that's going to make its way to Hampstead. So that's going to make getting around Wilmington and getting to Hampstead even easier. So that's going to be really nice. You'll be able to take Interstate 40 to 140 and then take the new bypass all the way to Hampstead. So you're going to bypass a lot of traffic up and down Highway 17 right there. But anyway, that's Hampstead. Now, if we go further north of Wilmington, you're also going to see places like Burgaw, which is up and coming, a rural area that has plenty of opportunity. It's more of like country life, but there's still some development happening in Burgaw. There's new development. There's new neighborhoods. There's an Amazon warehouse or warehouse center happening in that area. So a lot of people are starting to look at Burgaw because Wilmington, like I said, is limited due to our space. So that's something you may want to consider, and I'll make a video for Burgaw for you to watch as well, so you can kind of get to know that area. But as we get closer to Wilmington, you'll see Rocky Point. That's about 30 minutes north of Wilmington. And then we get closer to Wilmington, we get to Castle Hayne. Once again, a little more rural, but nice single family homes. There's actually some really incredible development happening in that area, some newer neighborhoods, and a lot of really cool places in that area. Now, on the western side of Wilmington, we're going to find Leland. Leland has really taken off in the last 25 years. It used to be just a stop on the highway exit, but now it's become a city, a town of multiple neighborhoods that have master plan communities that are allowing for resort style amenities and allowing for retirement communities. And it makes a lot of sense for a lot of people that want to move to Wilmington, want to move to the coast, want to move down south, but they don't necessarily want to be in Wilmington proper. So, but one of the caveats with living in Wilmington is you're a little limited because we have 3 bridges over here. So we have the Cape Fear Memorial Bridge, the Isabella Holmes Bridge, and a third bridge, which is not a drawbridge, but it goes through 140 right here, from Interstate 40 to 140. That's a bridge right there that can. It's not a drawbridge, but it's a little out of the way. So if you're going down that route, you're more than likely getting around Leland, rather, and not necessarily going into Leland. So if you want to get into Leland and get back to Wilmington, you're kind of limited by these 2 drawbridges right here on the Cape Fear River. Not the worst thing in the world if your schedule and your lifestyle and your job allows for it, but if you're looking to make the commute every day to Wilmington for work or school, then that's something that can be a major drawback because if they're doing work on one of the bridges, then the other bridge is getting all that traffic and vice versa. So something to think about. I'm going to make a video for Leland so you can get to know that area. There's a lot of opportunity over there, a lot of growth, and a lot of people are beginning to flock over there to save money, but also they have plenty of amenities and plenty of neighborhoods that people are really finding very popular. So that gives you a brief idea of some areas that surround Wilmington on the north and the west. And as we work our way down south of Wilmington, you'll see places like Southport. Now, Southport is just an all-American July 4th parade, little coastal town. There's been movies filmed there. It's just a really nice, tight, close-knit community, but nowhere near the size of Wilmington. Doesn't have everything that Wilmington can offer, but a lot of retirees, young families, etc. in Southport. And on that note, St. James Plantation is a really great neighborhood right outside of Southport, and that's a huge community. If you're looking to retire to the south, you might want to look at St. James. But for today, we're going to be focusing on Wilmington, and part of looking at Wilmington starts down here at our southernmost tip. You'll see Bald Head Island, which is an incredible place to be. I could talk all day about Bald Head. There's no cars on Bald Head Island. You have to take a ferry from Southport to get to Bald Head. And so, once again, retirees, vacationers, second homes, a lot's happening on Bald Head Island. It's a very natural, quiet, peaceful place to be. Not necessarily young professionals and families that are raising children, because once again, you're restricted by that ferry traffic every day. So just something to think about. And on that note, there's another ferry that goes from Southport that takes us closer to Wilmington, takes us all the way to Fort Fisher. Fort Fisher is home of the Civil War Museum, and it's a major stop in Civil War history. It's also home of the North Carolina Aquarium at Fort Fisher. So it's kind of the end of the road, literally and figuratively, for Wilmington, and it's our southernmost point when you're looking at New Hanover County as a whole. So let's go back to Wilmington now that you have a few ideas of the general area. And whenever I talk to people that are looking to move to Wilmington, they're looking at Wilmington for a number of reasons. Maybe they're sending a kids to school here or to college here. Maybe they're looking to work here. Maybe they just want to live on the coast. Well, as simple as that sounds, I can really help you narrow down exactly where you need to be in Wilmington based upon a number of parameters. So for instance, if you want to be close to the water, a question you may want to ask yourself is, do I want to be in an oceanfront property? Do I want to be just waterfront, riverfront? Do I want to be able to put my boat in the water from my backyard? Do I want to be able to use a community boat dock? Do I want to be able to trailer my boat to a local boat landing? Do I just want to have a kayak launch in the neighborhood? Those are all issues that you need to start thinking about if you're looking to move to be close to water. And all those are very important, and there's a number of different options. One of the things that you're going to look at, and that is, of course, one of the most obvious questions, is price point. And price point is really going to dictate a number of those variety of options when you're looking at the Wilmington area. One of the most popular places to be on the water in Wilmington is at Wrightsville Beach. Wrightsville Beach is a nice, I like to call it semi-private beach, because there's it's not overgrown in terms of tourism and hotels and all these things. There's a little bit of that, but you're not going to see it like you would in Myrtle Beach and some larger beach towns. So Wrightsville Beach is an entire video in itself, but just to give you an idea, whenever you think of the beach and you think of Wilmington, people are talking about Wrightsville Beach. So just keep that in mind. And homes on Wrightsville Beach definitely are pricey, $1 million plus. You're not going to find too much less than that, if anything, maybe a condo or what have you, but it's definitely, you know, the upper echelon of the Wilmington area when it comes to coastal living is Wrightsville Beach. So that's one option for getting on the water and being near the water. The other option is the Cape Fear River. And when we look at the Cape Fear River, you have more inland, like we were talking about Castle Hayne, and those are very affordable opportunities up there. But as you get closer to downtown Wilmington, it gets a little more pricey because you get in the historic district. The historic district, as it sounds, is full of lots of opportunity, lots of historic homes, lots of history, and lots of tourism. So as we get over here to the riverfront, you have a lot of development, the Battleship of North Carolina, the new Live Oak Pavilion, the Railroad Museum, Cape Fear Community College, a lot of stuff happening in that area. One of my favorite things to do around sunset is to go walk and stroll on the Riverwalk downtown Wilmington. That's where you'll see people just eating ice cream, strolling, pushing a stroller, jogging, running, maybe training for a marathon, just all sorts of different, you know, people eating, watching the sunset. It's just a really beautiful spot. If you've never been down here, just pay us a visit and just check out the riverfront for a weekend, and I think you'll be really happy you did. So there's a lot of growth happening in this area. There was a time when I was growing up that downtown was just kind of quiet and everyone avoided it. Not anymore. Now downtown Wilmington is really putting Wilmington on the map. We're not just coastal, we're not just beach. We are music and arts and the social scene and breweries and all that good stuff. It's all happening downtown. If you want to be downtown, of course, anytime you get closer to the water, you're going to pay more. And part of the historic district comes with historic homes, which can be very pricey. But as you work your way a few blocks east away from the river, you're going to find affordable homes just like you would in many other places. So don't necessarily rule that out if you're shopping on a budget or you're trying to stay within a certain price range. And speaking of price range, if you're looking to move to the Wilmington area and you want to see what you can get and the biggest bang for your buck, contact us below and I'll be more than happy to start your home search and give you a number of different ideas on what you can afford and where you can live and what best fits your lifestyle, your budget, and what you're looking for. All right, so once again, when we look at Wilmington, some of the major draws that bring people to the area, of course, is the coast, the water, the river, but also the University of North Carolina at Wilmington, UNCW. Go Seahawks. That is right here in the middle of town. And if you're looking at buying student housing, you're going to want to, of course, be close to the university. On that note, we are not a college town. We have a college. We have two great colleges, Cape Fear Community College and UNCW. But we're not just a college town. I really feel like Wilmington is very well balanced in a number of ways. And one of those is that we cater to students, but at the same time, this is not strictly a college area. So if you're looking for student housing, something you may want to consider is UNCW has a 1 mile radius that you have to remain in order to, if you're going to live within that 1 mile, you have to either walk, ride your bike, skateboard, something like that to get to campus, to get to classes. So if you're looking at student housing, you may want to be outside of that 1 mile radius if you want to be able to drive on campus. But that's just something to think about. Now, back to Wrightsville Beach. The closer you get to Wrightsville Beach, the higher the prices go. So one of those communities that has really nice homes that I love is Landfall. It's a gated community. They have a country club, or two country clubs rather. They have golf. I believe that's a Pete Dye course. They have a number of great golfing opportunities, really beautiful homes, pretty strict HOA. I mean, everything in there looks very clean. And if you want to be in landfall, once you tour it, you're going to know that you're going to want to be in landfall, and that's going to be a fit for you. It's not for everybody, but for a lot of people, it's a really nice opportunity. So as we work our way north, you're going to see areas such as Ogden, which is home of Ogden Elementary School, Middlestone Loop Road. That's a whole area in itself. It's a really popular area. And then you're going to have Bayshore. Bayshore is a great place to be. They actually have a boat landing that you can put your boat in the water, but only at high tide. And you see that every now and then. It's kind of restricted by the tides, which can be a little frustrating, but it's kind of a nice, it's a pretty nice neighborhood. So another area up here in the northern part of New Hanover County is Porter's Neck. This is zip code 28411, and Porter's Neck has the country club, and they have Eagle Point Golf Club. Eagle Point is a really nice golf community, and even Michael Jordan has a locker in there. I saw that once. That was kind of cool. Porter's Neck and the northern side of town is also home to Figure 8 Island. Figure 8 Island it's a private bridge, a private island. It's just the most exclusive island and neighborhood really in our community. A lot of celebrities, a lot of really nice growth and opportunity there at Figure 8. As we make our way back over here towards the middle of town, you're going to see neighborhoods like Murrayville, North Chase, Wrightsboro, Kings Grant. This is some of the most affordable housing that you're going to find in Wilmington, is right here. And there was a time when these neighborhoods on the north side of town were kind of seen as like out there. Not anymore. There's so much development happening over here at Porter's Neck. You'll have, Walmart, Lowe's Home Improvement, Aldi's, Chipotle, restaurants, Cape Fear Seafood, like all sorts of opportunities and things to do up here on the north side of town. It's really become its own little area and attraction in itself. As we work our way back towards the center of town, you're going to see the International Airport. Love our airport. We are constantly adding locations or direct flights to our airport. If you're interested in that, look at flyilm.com. It feels like the biggest little airport that I've ever been to. Like we continue to grow and to renovate and add terminals and all this stuff. So it's really nice that we have such a great airport in town with access to so many wonderful places. As we work our way back towards the middle of town, you're going to see neighborhoods like Princess Place, nice older homes, Forest Hills. Forest Hills is one of my favorite neighborhoods. Really nice homes that were built in the 40s, 50s, 60s. Huge lots, homes that have kept their value. You also have places over here like Sunset Park. Sunset Park is smaller historic bungalows that are pretty affordable. And this area is also home to Greenfield Lake Amphitheater. One of my favorite places to go watch some live shows. I've seen some really big names there at Greenfield Lake. So that's something worth looking at. As we make our way down south, you're going to have neighborhoods like Pine Valley. Those were homes built in the 60s, 70s, brick ranches. Mid-century modern types. So really cool place. They have their own little country club with golf and pool and all these kind of things. It's a really pretty attainable for most people to live in that area, have a nice home, and also be a member of the country club. So that's something worth looking at. As we continue to make our way south, you're going to see all these neighborhoods over here. These are some of the most popular neighborhoods in Wilmington when it comes to people moving to the area, and that's because it's in the Hoggard School District. And the Hoggard School District is definitely one of the most popular school districts in our town. So these homes tend to hold their value and go up in price pretty quickly. As we make our way down south, you're eventually going to get all the way to Carolina Beach, which has its own bridge. That's not a drawbridge, and that's also home to Snow's Cut. So if you want to be near the water, this is the Intercoastal Waterway right here. Snow's Cut is a man-made waterway that goes all the way to the Cape Fear River. So it helps save you from having to boat all the way around. So that's that. Carolina Beach is a really great place to be, enough like Wrightsville Beach that it's a little bit more chill, a little bit more touristy, if I dare say that, but at the same time it feels relaxed. You can just go have a good day, walk on the boardwalk, get a donut at Britt's Donuts, just enjoy the sunshine, have a good old time. I love Carolina Beach. So that's just something to think about. Masonboro Island is not developed, and it's not going to be developed. It's protected. So it's a really beautiful place. You can kayak over there, boat over there, enjoy the day. There are groups that help protect Masonboro Island and keep it clean and all these good things. So I'm really proud to be a part of a community that loves our environment and loves nature and loves taking care of it. I think we hit all of that. I think we hit a number of the major points in Wilmington for you to consider if you're looking at moving to the area. There's always plenty more to say about each area, and there's always plenty more things to talk about and things to see and to learn about and all these good things. But I just want to give you a brief overview today of what Wilmington has to offer. If you're trying to nail down exactly where you want to be, a neighborhood you want to be in, and what you're looking for, please give me a call, contact us below, and we'll go ahead and start looking for the home of your dreams. And until next time, I'm Kevin with Living in Wilmington. Look forward to talking to you soon. See you around.